The potential for the country to produce nuclear energy has local and state leaders looking for ways to keep Kentucky in the conversation. I'm Piper Hansen, a business and economic development reporter at the Lexington Herald-Leader, and there's a lot of nuclear energy and artificial intelligence talk coming out of Kentucky right now. Here's what you should know. For the past several years, Kentucky has been looking for ways to turn energy policy into economic opportunity. The General Assembly lifted a statewide ban on the construction of nuclear power plants in 2017. Since then, it's created a non-regulatory authority and allocated money to fund it. Plus, this summer, legislators have been studying AI, especially its energy and infrastructure needs, and are working toward a policy framework for the Commonwealth. At the end of July, the Department of Energy said a plant in western Kentucky was one of 4 across the country positioned to host 1 or more data centers for the Trump administration's plan to make artificial intelligence infrastructure stronger, including the nuclear energy they want to power it with. The Paducah gaseous diffusion plant was built in the 1950s during the Cold War. Before it closed in 2013, it was the only operating uranium enrichment facility in the country. The Paducah site has been a major employer in western Kentucky, and local officials in county and state government told me the community is, unlike most, welcoming nuclear with open arms again. More details on project scope for the selected site is expected to be released in the coming months, with developer and energy company partners potentially announced by the end of the year, the department says. In addition to that news from the Department of Energy, California-based company General Matter said they'll build a $1.5 billion facility to enrich uranium at the site in Paducah. Uranium enrichment is a process that makes the heavy metal more concentrated to be a suitable form of fuel for nuclear power plants. Once constructed and operational, the facility will employ 140 people and generate more than $70 million annually in economic impact around McCracken County. General Matter CEO Scott Nolan, alongside some of Paducah's and Kentucky's elected leaders, stood at the deactivated Paducah site this week for a celebration of the company's forthcoming facility. The investment, which Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear called the largest single investment in the history of West Kentucky, is personal for many Paducah residents. You can read more of these stories on Kentucky.com. Thanks for watching.